Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Eduard. It's a Brassin set in 1/48 scale, which copies F-104 AC exhaust nozzle, so it might be handy with the Kinetic and Eduard kit. And as you remember, we just reviewed the limited edition, which is featured in this aircraft, so this upgrade might come handy for adding even more realistic appearance to your aircraft. And this element is quite noticeable on the finished model. So that's why I always recommend to check it if you would like to install it on your model. And of course we have a commercial sample here, so it means what you will see in this small package, it will be the final version of the release, and you will get exactly the same stuff if you order it from official Eduard website. So first of all, the box, the packaging is typical for Brassin set from Eduard. Here you can see also the 3D image, and it's also the small sign that it's print, so I guess this will be the 3D printed signs or parts. Here we also have the price tag. It's written here that we have the 1995 euros price for this upgrade, and as you remember, the price of the original limited edition release is 69.95, so that's why I'm saying you have to consider this, but it's quite an investment. And here on the rear side you can see also some safety advices about well, these are shortened version. Here we have a bit more detailed, but let's not forget that these parts require the due care. Okay, so we have the small seal in form of the clear tape. As you can see, it was quick to open or cut through, and here we just remove this. Oh, we have two more. Okay, so it wasn't that simple, but I will cut through in the second. And in the meantime, I can say that original plastic was quite nice, but as I said in the review, in the video review of the original kit, it was a question if you would like to have the two-piece engine nozzle or you would like to have a bit more sophisticated design. So here you can notice that everything is handled or placed in between two layers of the foam. We have the 3D printed parts in the Ziploc bag, and then we have the assembly manual, so I will show all of these items one by one, do not worry. And I can see that these are quite large parts, which is quite interesting, so we will be checking them in a second. First of all, I suggest we start with the engine nozzle tube, let's say. So here it is. It is printed out of black plastic, so maybe that's why I will open the lenses a bit more so that you can see what we have here. So overall, the thickness of this part is way thinner than what we have in the plastic. As you can see, it's almost translucent on the bright light. And so we also get the interior features as well, which is something unusual for the plastic. I'm not sure if it is noticeable here, maybe on the bright light it will be visible, but you can see that there is some details inside as well, which is, as I said, a bit complicated thing to copy in the plastic parts. But that's not all, we also continue with this part, which I'm not sure where it will go. As you can see, it's quite thin. Again, it's molded out of this or printed out of this translucent plastic, and we also get this small stubs. I'm not sure where they will be used. We will have to check the assembly manual. Next, we continue with the turbine itself. As you can see, it is printed as a single piece part, which is quite interesting design. And again, this is something what you won't be able to replicate with the plastic part. It will be way simpler design, but here we have a lot of features. And of course you have to be careful while handling this thing because, well, there are a lot of small elements which can break off, and of course you have to remove this 3D print supports, so that's why it will require some special sharp tools in order to do it a bit more precise way. Next we continue with one more internal element. Here you can see this small part. Again, it's printed under the small angle, as you can see. And again, we have to remove those 3D supports in order to have this part ready to be installed into the engine. But that's not all. The final piece here is this large nozzle section. So this one looks really great. As you can see, way more details in comparison with what we get in the original plastic, and it looks way more sophisticated. Of course, it deserves some careful weathering as well, because these parts, this section is usually burned, and as you can see, we have a lot of, I would say, place or space to play with some burnt metal material imitation here, so that it will look even more attractive on the model. Let's not forget that this is a 1/48 scale, so here is comparison with my fingertip. It's definitely not a small part, but it's quite thin and tender, so be careful with those parts for sure. Next, we continue with the assembly manual. So this one is printed as a typical assembly manual for Brassin set. I will just zoom out. Again, here we have the small picture of the parts which are there. And now I'm just trying to understand whether this part which I had before, whether it's just broken off the nozzle. Because as you can see here, we do not have any stubs, it's just the nozzle. So maybe it broke off during shipment, maybe during packaging. Next, we continue with assembly. So, by the way, here you can see also some of the interior features. As you can see, the assembly is quite simple. Just do not forget to paint all the necessary parts which will be going inside. There is also correct position, as you can see, and then this part should be a direct install into the fuselage, so you don't have to modify anything. It installs into the standard installation points, and that's why we had those guiding pins on the side of this engine nozzle tube. So as you can see, they are from both sides. Be sure not to cut them off, because I know it happens sometime. It happened even with me. So that's why pay attention to this step. As you can see, those 2 points from each side are employed, and you won't be able to install it any other way. It's actually good because you don't have to worry that the fitment will be kind of different. And as far as I know, Eduard usually test fits their accessories before releasing them to the market, so that's why here you can be sure that it should be more or less tight fitment. And last but not the least, again, we have the parts map. We also have the paints chart. It's given in Gunzi designations, and we have here the steel and dark iron. I think they also have the burnt metal, so definitely consider this paint shade as well. And of course, maybe some of the weathering pigments might come handy for let's say making all of the surface details a bit more prominent on your finished build. And by the way, here again we have the price tag, 1995. So this release should be already available, as I said in the beginning. You can purchase it together with the limited edition kit, or if you have the original kinetic release, you can just get this separately. But in my opinion, this is a worthy investment of your money, because this large portion of the engine is visible on the finished model, and this is definitely something what will influence the final appearance of your build. Of course, I'll be happy to hear your opinion about such add-ons. Do you usually use in your jet aircrafts? Write it here in the comment section below. And if you like this video, do not forget to press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.